Hi there, this is Matthew J. Peters. I am the CEO of Ascend Media, and you're on the High Ticket Media Mastery Podcast. This is a video podcast. I'm also doing it audio. And tonight, we're going to be talking about assembling your A-team. I love having a team. I love being able to delegate. I love working with people who love what they do. They're much better than I am at it, and they do it in far less time. And when we have a mutual agreement that it works out for everybody, it's a pleasure to work with them. And I'm going to show you how to have employees, part-time people, people as needed, people working locally, people working on the other side of the planet, where you have a cohesive team and everybody loves what they do. You think that's possible? I'm going to show you how I do it. First of all, 2 slides. This is very basic, but if you have a team right now, this will also help you after these 2 slides. If you're going to hire anybody, you need to know what needs to be done. Don't hire before you don't know what needs to be done. If you don't know, don't hire anybody. Take the time to write it out. And a couple of days ago, we actually went through that for you to make that list. Number 2 is know what skills are necessary to do it right. So there's a couple ways you can do it. If you know how to do this process or whatever you're hiring someone to do and you're going to train them, then you can train someone who doesn't have any experience, but they're an open book, they're ready to learn. If you don't have that experience and you're not going to be training them, you do need to hire an expert. If you hire anything in between, it's going to just slow down your business growth because they're going to be learning the position and they're going to learn how you work, and it's going to be limited hours, and it's just going to be a little wonky. So it's best to hire someone who's an expert, or if you know how you're going to do it, then you just hire somebody who's an open book. So let's get right into the tips here. Hire as needed. You can hire as many as needed people as you want. If you start telling people you're going to give them 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week, and they're thinking they're going to get part-time or full-time, then you need to really watch your budget, because if you don't have the work for them, then you're going to be paying out of pocket for them to not be doing productive work for your business to bring more income in. So they become an expense instead of an investment. I hire people as investments. I know when I get paid X amount of dollars per hour, I know how much I need to pay somebody, so there's actually a profit margin. My first business, when I was making websites, I pay people $10 an hour less than I was paid, because I thought, well, I'm just setting it up. They're the ones that are doing the work. I thought I was being, a nice boss by doing that, and I was paying people really well because I was just setting it up for them, right? Well, guess who had all the liability? Guess who had to pay for the computers, the printers, the electricity, the office space? I had an office with 3 desks in it, so it was me and 3 other people, and I was paying them really well, but I went out of business because I just didn't have enough income to pay for my expenses and have a good living for myself as well. So hire as needed. Make sure you have that profit margin. One basic rule you can go by is make sure that you're charging 3 times what you're being charged. All right, because that allows you to have a little bit of profit margin, pay your taxes, and be able to grow your business and have an income yourself. And then as soon as possible, hire their junior. And I'll get into this at the end, but it's important for you to have a backup because people flake out, people go on vacations, people get sick. I did have one gentleman I hired, great guy. I still am in touch with him. He was doing all of our websites, and he came home one day and he was presented a bride, and he left for 2 weeks on a honeymoon, and he had no way of telling anybody. So he literally was surprised with a wife. He got married immediately and went directly on a honeymoon. And I had to find somebody else because I hadn't heard from him. He came back and he was like, Matthew, I'm so sorry. It's a cultural thing. That's fine. It would have been nice to know that was something that was a possibility. So I learned from that to hire a backup. I also learned before that when someone was doing all my graphic design, beautiful graphic design, and they got a job to work with the MMA, which was their dream job in Hawaii, and they left and said, Matthew, I've got this other job, thanks. I'm like, I need templates. We need to finish this work. So after about a week, I got everything from him, and that's when I set up all my systems because I could not have an employee or someone as needed or somebody I was outsourcing to control the growth and the speed of my business. So I want you to find your people and get them in their sweet spot as soon as possible, because you're going to get the maximum performance out of them, and they're going to have the maximum happiness. When people are happy to work with you, they do your work first. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you're going to have really happy people. So I want you to survey your people regularly. For me, it's every 3 months. Now, these are the types of questions we ask. These are the questions I really like to ask because it gives me a pulse on where they're at. Number 1, what do you like the most about what you do with our company? Number 2, what do you like the least about what you do with our company? Number 3, what improvements can be made to our communication? We may be communicating too much with them, not enough. Different modes of communication. They like email or WhatsApp instead of using Asana or Rike or Basecamp or Trello. What's the other ones we're using? Monday.com. There's all these, we're working with different clients. So helping you understand what's their best communication. What improvements can we make to our processes? So I'm going to hand them a process because most of the things I have people do in my business, I've done. I've worn all the hats and I say, okay, here's how I do it. Boom, put it out there. And this is just a good lesson that I learned from Chick Mormon when he was talking about teaching your children. He said, here's one way to do it, or here's how I do it. And when you present it to your employee or your staff, anybody who's going to be on your team, even if it's a part-time or somebody you're outsourcing to, and you say, here's how I do it, feel free to improve upon it. You're not the expert. You're hiring someone who is supposed to be better than you at that. Let them do it their way. If they see a way to cut out steps or something you're doing that's redundant or doesn't need to be done at all. I was like cutting out people out of the graphics so I could separate them from the background. And someone just said, why don't you just click on subject? It just cuts them out. Saves a lot of time when you talk to an expert, actually. What else do you do that could benefit our company or our clients? You may have people you've hired and they could benefit you in ways you didn't know because you never asked. Or they could benefit your clients and now you could offer another product or program or service. Number 6, what is your current availability? I always like to have a pulse on what has changed in their family, what has changed in them having other clients. They may have gotten a part-time job. They may be traveling more for the summer. They may be going to school. You really don't know. So I like to ask them every 3 months, have your hours changed, right? Because if they say, now I have 20 more hours a week, okay, and you say, you really like to do this, I can give you more of that work. And then the last one here, number 7, is what skills would you like to learn next? If they want to know like Twitter marketing, find a program or have them take an hour, go online and find the best program they can. And they, give me the top 2, give me one that's $1,000 and one that's $197 or something. We'll take a look to see what the differences are. Do you need a coach yet? Or do you need to just learn this stuff by watching some videos? Because when they learn a skill that they're already interested in and they're going to be doing it for your company, that's going to help you become more marketable, and it's going to help you if they can tie it into what it is they do and you pay for it. That will help their skill set do everything better with you. Now, the reason why I say what do you like the most and what do you like the least, one of the things I have people do is I give the stuff they like the least, I hire the next person, the junior person, to do the things they like the least. Why? I've got my good person that's been with me the longest doing the things they love. And the things they don't like, they don't have to do it anymore. Think about that in your business. People are like, well, I'd just like to have, I hire one person or 2 people. I'm fine. I had 16 people because I had everybody doing what they loved in their wheelhouse. And the next thing is, after you get to know their capacity, is know what motivates and drives them. Do they want recognition? Do they want to say, this is an awesome job, everybody check out what so-and-so did? Do they want a bonus? Is it about getting paid? Is it about having the respect for the company and having pride in the company? What is it that drives them? Do they want the awards? So think about it, what it is for them. Some people is like, listen, I'm just doing this for the money so I can pay for my school. Find it out and then make sure that you are compensating them with the currency that is most valuable to them. Sometimes it's money, and sometimes there's things that are more valuable than money. That's the currency that they like to trade in. But this is one of the things I love, and I learned quickly. Pay them as soon as they complete the process that you have them doing. So if it's as needed, they do the process, they send you an invoice, pay it instantly. Why do I do that? Number one, I've got people doing what they love, and they know when I communicate with them, hey, I've got this next gig for you, they do it immediately. They know they go out there, they do it, and they get paid today. They get paid as soon as they're done. Guess what? There are other clients that they're putting their invoices out there. They're paying in 30 days, 60 days. Big companies, it may take a while. You have to wait for their next pay cycle. Not with us, because we turned them on. We activated them when we had the work for them to do. Okay? I like the Ascension model. I mentioned it before, hiring a junior. Here's how I like to do it, because in my business, there's a lot of the things I knew how to do, at least to some degree, and get people started. I do the task and you watch me do it. You do the task and I watch you do that. You do it and then you start reporting to me. You improve the process and then you document how you've improved it. Ways you can document it is, yes, you can put it on a Word document. I really like to do screen capture because a lot of things we do are visual, even our like audio editing. You can do visually by doing a screen capture using something like Loom. There's Snagit and there's some other ones. And then they teach the next person. Then the Ascension model, I'm going to hire you. And I learned this from Garrett J. White. I'm going to hire you and you better not be at the level you're at today in 6 months. If you are, you're fired. His thing is, you're going to work for me. You're going to learn how to get better at your job. You're going to excel. You're going to improve our profit margin. You're going to improve our revenue from what you do. And you're going to go to that next level within 6 months. And you're going to be training the person that is going to be taking your place. So you just keep people going up. And you can do that. And I'll tell you right now, because of how I work, and I love working with people. And if there's challenging situations, the people that I work with, my clients, they will tell you I'm very patient. I listen, and I want to make sure I have an understanding of where they're at so we can be on a common ground. Because of that, even though they are outsourced, a lot of people that work with me are outsourced. They act to me with the loyalty as if they were an employee or someone who is literally like on our team. And we treat them like they're a part of our team. All right. And then the other thing I was going to say about that is the people that work with us, my standards are so high because of the people we're serving. They get their best work and they actually are able to charge their other clients more because of the standards I've set them to. They'll give me graphics back. I'm like, nope, not like that. Change that. See how there's a little white line around that? You got to get rid of that. I'm so picky in the beginning, but I also applaud them for when they do the great jobs. Like, this looks awesome, man. You got it. You nailed it. Thank you. But when they're starting out, I got to correct them into the way we do things and the standards we have. And because of that, they're able to go out there and charge people more for the work that they do. So it works great to replace you. So think about the things that you don't want to do anymore. And we made that list a few days ago. The things you don't want to do that need to be done, hire people for that. You can do that as needed. But what if you don't know how to do these things? You need to hire the experts to decrease the expense of time of trial and error. When you're hiring someone to replace you, you have to realize if you are not the best at it, your replacement is not going to be as good as you, so it's going to be even lower. So this is something, when you hire an expert, you actually are buying time. When you're thinking like, I'm going to just get some kid that's going to figure out how to do our Facebook ads, not only are you losing a lot of time, you're going to burn through a lot of money because you have no experience in that. I would definitely hire somebody who is an expert instead of trying to find someone who's just an open book. It's like, yeah, just watch some YouTube videos and figure it out. Or get somebody on Fiverr who has a little bit of experience. They have zero loyalty to you, and they're serving so many people that you're just become a number to them, if that makes sense. So hire us. We help coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs expand their reach and elevate their online and offline presence with minimal time and effort on their part. We want to make sure you stay in your wheelhouse as the expert, as the authority, as the professional, charging your highest fees, leveraging your time so you make sure that you're always doing your highest profit margin, your highest revenue work yourself. For me, it is doing sales calls, going to networking events, doing my company communication, and doing directing and coaching. Those are the things I need to be focusing on, leading the company and making sure the message is right and everybody knows their job for now. And then I'll hire, a second unit director. Then I'll hire someone to manage the day-to-day, to do the operations. So as you grow, you're having the right people in the right seats on the bus. So I want you to think about this. If this is something you really want to do, is you want to outsource all of your organic marketing, all your video production, all of it, all your reels, all your stories, all your posts on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and LinkedIn, so all of your videos, all of your podcasts. So a year of podcasts, a year of videos, a year of all your social, having a book created, having a magazine with you on the cover, and having your blog. So everything that you're doing, you have a weekly blog. Everything you would be doing for your organic marketing being done for you because you invested a day and a half of your expertise getting in front of a camera and having our experts capture that, making legacy media that is going to be bringing you clients year after year after year. We have clients that tell us that even today. So thank you so much for being on. If you want to give me a call and see if this is right for you at this point in your business, reach out to me at ascendmedia.com/call. Again, that's ASYND media.com/call. Thanks so much for being on. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.